Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
All right, we're no longer all in Portland, Oregon. Hello, I'm Jackie Cation.
Hello, I'm Laurie Kilmartin.
And that's Kyle Clark working the thing.
Yeah. That was a fun little brunch we had.
Yeah.
We all were doing shows on what I consider to be my weekend in Portland. And no, we're all meet for brunch, and that was cool.
Oh God, that made me laugh.
You guys went to go have brunch at the venue that the three people I was with, we were all performing at that night. It was just a series
Isn't that
of amazing
weird?
moments.
Absolutely accidental, random. Yeah.
Completely random and hilarious. That is awesome. Do you want to talk about Portland, or are you ready to move on, Laurie?
I was mad at Portland after Friday night because I had a kind of a low turnout on Friday. And I was like, what the fuck do I have to do? I don't know what else I have to do. I'm doing as much as I can. And this is it.
Right.
One person for every year I've been in comedy. I counted the heads. I was like 1987, 1988, 1989. I was up on top. I named every single audience member a year of my comedy. And then
did you say, I'm calling on you, 92? Let's hear it.
So the show was fun. Like, they were good, but I was just like, it led to a collapse internally about like how's any of this going to keep working? I don't get it. But then Saturday was really good, and then the money ended up being better than I thought. I guess I don't know. I was I'm going to lose money, and I did okay. It was fine.
Good.
So it was an unnecessary.
Shelley McClendon is a delight and very supportive. So this is good.
And the room is great, and it was I did feel like having you two across town definitely didn't help my ticket sales. And I'm not blaming you, and I'm still speaking to Maria. But
she was talking about how much fun she had in Moon Tower going for a walk with you.
Yeah, that was cool. We had a good time. And I don't know if you guys had this, but I had people come up to me on Saturday that had been to your show on either Thursday or Friday. So there's a lot of Jackie and Laurie people that did both. And I thank them.
Great.
For for making it a weekend of their favorite
of stand-up comedy. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Because Maria doesn't have any merch, and I sold out of merch by Friday's second show.
See,
I didn't meet anybody on Saturday.
I'm glad we're not physically in a room together. I would have to attack you.
There might be a shiv. Yeah, it's and the audiences, were a delight, and Maria essentially fixed a joke of mine, and then she fixed it. I still couldn't do it right, so I still have to work on it when it's not because it's the long one that I'm gonna change lives, Laurie, with this bit. Yeah. What?
Oh, me too.
I can't wait.
Even though I have an hour of material that changes lives on my special. I have no one's actually ever told me their life was changed, but but yeah, no, my JetBlue bit, which was a little all over the place without a closing laugh in New York City.
Yep.
Together, chop, 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 chop. Got some more beats and a good ender. So I'm excited about that. And then something else is coming along as well.
How about the joke that I inspired? How's that coming along?
It's not coming along. It's not.
Oh, good. Yeah, take it on.
It might be a dead end. It might be a one. Yeah.
Yeah, might have been in the moment. There might be something there. I'm sure there's something there.
One joke, but it's a lot to explain. It's just you're friends with somebody in recovery that your stories are boring to them because they don't end in some sort of car crash or crack addiction. And so you always have to, I always have to add in details that are going to keep your interest.
Why do you have to slam Mulaney's special?
Wait, did he do that in a special?
Yeah, the new one.
Yes, supposedly his new one is literally just an hour
That,
recovery
I
share.
thought he did that premise. No,
Oh no, he didn't do that premise. No, it's that everyone I've known who's sober and has been to jail is like, yeah, get to the point.
See, I was riveted by Mulaney's special, so I have stories.
Yeah, he's not gonna want to hear your tame stories. Because he was intervened. Wasn't he intervened?
Yeah, by celebrities. Not only an
Oh,
intervention,
okay.
but famous people telling you how you're harming them. I mean, that really ups the ante as far as I'm concerned.
My intervention was non-existent. I was arrested. My intervention was done by the state of California. quickly after the state of Minnesota decided to intervene.
Wow.
Back to back DUIs, my friend.
Yeah, your court appointed defense attorney may have been leading your intervention. Did you have to hire an attorney, or did you go with what they gave you?
I recommend you go with especially if you're going to be like, no, I'm guilty. Don't pay extra. Don't bother.
Right.
Yeah, no, I borrowed money on the second one to hire an attorney, and the judge was like, if you could afford an attorney, you could afford all these fees.
Oh no.
So yeah, in the first one, I couldn't afford to hire an attorney.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
it was
weird,
a long time ago. I paid everything off. I paid
Yes,
off those
like,
credit cards. Yes.
I have empathy for you, and I'm like, oh no, not fees for Jackie. But then if you just said a normal drunk driver, I'm like, slam that motherfucker into a prison cell head first.
Throw them away. Throw away the key. It's my second DUI though was it was pretty. I guess I was coming over. Here's what I have to say. Laurel Canyon already real twisty.
You
Right?
were drunk on Laurel Canyon?
Oh my God, 11
Impressive.
shots and 9 beers. I think I was drunk. So
my
it's already super weavy. And then we get on Ventura. I'm about 7 or 8 blocks from my apartment. Ventura and Vineland. And I get pulled over and the cop says, ma'am, have you been drinking? And I said a lot, but I'm okay.
Oh Jesus!
I
Oh my God!
I don't recommend that. And he's like, wow, please step out of the vehicle. And and then he took me to the police station. And then luckily my friend Brian Gannon slept with a answering machine next to his bed. And so because the cops told me that I could go home if I could get someone to come get me. I had many things happen that I don't know if they would have happened if I wouldn't have been a white lady. And quite as admitted, and quite honestly, as charming as I am. And so, because he moved my 89 Mazda 323 hatchback off of Ventura into a parking lot, so it didn't get towed.
Nice.
It still ended up costing me $7,000. Don't get a DUI, you guys. Pay for an Uber. It's cheaper in the long run.
Right. I mean, you never want to start a sentence with my second DUI. That's my number one lesson.
First DUI was, of course, because of a boy. And I thought for sure, because I had had a crush on this guy for like 2 years. And I'm like, and I had gone to this party
next to him, Jackie, to call back
the entire time, just standing there. And then I went to this party knowing I was going to get drunk. And I was like, I parked my car somewhere safe. And I'm like, I'm just going to take a cab home. And I drank like a fish. And then he asked me for a ride home. And I was like, finally, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Guess what? It was absolutely never going to happen.
Wow.
But so I drove him downtown Minneapolis, going down a one-way the wrong way. So, I mean, who asked someone as drunk as I was to drive them home? Anyway.
exactly. He had 2 years to get a ride with you, and he waited until you're so hammered that you can't even drive the right way down the right road.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And the cop that time, the first time, he said, "Ma'am, have you been drinking?" And I said, "I am drunk."
Oh
And he
my
said, "Wow,
God.
please step out of the vehicle."
Wow.
Yeah. And I spent the night in jail that time. And I was there with a lot of I was probably 26 or 27 or something like that. But no, I must have been 30. Yeah. Whatever. I was too old. I should have known better. But the women that it happened to be all young Black women, and they were like, "What'd you do?" And I told them that story, and this one woman goes, "You are the dumbest white woman I've ever seen in my life." And I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right." So,
Very glad you were never injured, and very glad you never injured anybody.
amen, sister. Amen.
Yeah.
So, I did a bunch of shows, sold a bunch of merch, got to hang out with Maria and Scott, super fun, and then got to see an old friend from college, and then today we flew to Seattle. We landed at like 4:30. The show was at 7. And so
Right? Did you
yeah,
get
it was tight
was the hotel near the venue?
near the airport. So, but just 5 minutes. So we went to the airport hotel, and that's where I am now. So I get to sleep in tomorrow until like 9, which is great.
I've never stayed
And
at a hotel right next to the airport. Is it recommended?
oh,
I think for a one night
well,
for sure, right?
yeah, because then because they'll always have a shuttle.
Yeah. I think John Fox put me up at an airport hotel when I was in Seattle for a weekend, and I'm like, come on, dude. I can't,
Yeah, that's not
what the
good.
fuck? I can't roam around downtown Seattle when I'm working there. Oh, that made me
Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah. And then big theater, the Neptune Theater, she almost I think it was sold out in the end.
that's great.
And
Great.
and but we were both pretty punchy. I mean, the show went well. My timing was slightly off though, and I couldn't find my set list. And then I got off stage, I was like, "Oh, there it is." Because I wanted to work on all this new stuff, because that's one of the joys of working with her, is that you can.
Yeah.
And it was and then that was super fun. She's going on to work British Columbia for the next week.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, and I'm coming home. I'm doing Throckmorton on Tuesday, so I'm going to be home just overnight, and then I
Nice.
fly to San Francisco, and then I come back.
Cool. I'm home for a while. I'm gonna in July, mid-July, go to San Leandro for the
Oh, the wine thing with the squeaky
out
clean.
yeah, that I
Yeah.
got material for. And then I was just updating my calendar. June 30th, I'm in San Diego at the Mic Drop. I'm doing a Sunday show there.
Cool.
And then which I'm excited about. I've heard it's a great room. You guys were all talking about it, and I knew
Well,
Bruce had
because yeah, I'm doing the Comic-Con week because of Dork Forest, right? But I can't get anybody, and I asked fancy fucking people, and I was like, for sure they're going to be at Comic-Con. But I guess Comic-Con is literally phasing out comic books. Is that what the rumor mill is? Is that
really?
it's just all video games and movies?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like I asked Kelly Sue DeConnick, who wrote the arc that the Captain Marvel movie is based on. I asked her husband Matt Fraction, who wrote so many things, including a great no, that was Dan Slott. Fraction's written so many amazing things. But I mean they're okay. And then I asked Gail Simone, who's a DC. She writes a lot of DC, like Secret Six and like Harley Quinn and all this stuff. And then I just asked Mark Waid, who wrote Definitive Superman, and none of them are going. None of them are going.
Whose idea was this live Dork Forest at Comic-Con?
I think it was Mic Drops, because it's a Thursday night. Yeah, and so I just asked. Maria said she could probably do it because she's doing a panel.
Okay.
And then get this. So Thursday night, the week of Comic-Con, mic drop 7 o'clock, Dork Forest. Please come. Bring people because I don't know what the hell this is going to be. It's probably going to be Maria as a guest because she said she'd do it. And I was like, I will pay for all the Ubers and shuttles in the world because I tried to get Mary McMack, who is going to be doing panels at Comic-Con all weekend because she's on a cartoon called Solar Opposites, but
Yeah.
she's doing the small room at Mic Drop stand up on that Thursday
How about
at 7 p.m., completely opposite me.
Okay. How about well, I'm like, all right, let's promote everyone's shows now. Who else is doing a 7 o'clock show in San Diego? That isn't us, Jackie. Okay.
Well, it's opposite me
I
at the
know.
same venue. I was like, can't she just be the guest on my show?
You can
And
scoot
then,
over.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you
No,
can
it's an hour.
differently.
It's too much.
All right. So what about Kristen Shaw or Eugene Merman or any of the oh my God, Bob's Burgers people? What about
That's true.
Wendy Milieu? She's one of, I think I'm saying her last name wrong. NEAU accidents. She's one of the writers. She and her sister are like I think creators of it. They might be down.
I've heard of all these people. I don't know them well. I mean, I know Kristen and I know Kurt. Well, if Maria could do it, and I also pinged Brian Posehn, he might be doing it, even though he would be a comic book because he's been writing. He's got new stuff out, but my favorite thing he wrote was an arc with Jerry Duggan that was Deadpool. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll figure that out. But please, if you are going to Comic-Con, come to the show. And if you are not going to Comic-Con, but know people in San Diego, tell them to come to my, because Friday and Saturday I'm doing 4 shows.
It might drop.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder why you're doing 4 shows on a Friday, Saturday. I'm only getting 1 on a Sunday. I'm starting to take this personally.
You should. I don't know what to say to that. It's you get to do other shows I don't get to do.
Like
you just did you did Albany, New York. I didn't get to do that.
Really? That's
my
that's
friend
what
Joe
you're gonna throw
Wilson
in my face?
is dying. I've been asking Stroop every 2 months if I can go to Albany because my buddy Joe Wilson is living on borrowed time there. He's got cancer, and we just went and visited him last June.
He hasn't
Paid
booked
money,
me.
like
hasn't-
people.
He hasn't booked me any other, and I did great, and they love me, and they're like, we don't even have to have the bouncers there.
Right, right.
But you know,
But I don't get to do it at all, which is
You will.
but I'm not gonna be bitter about it. That's your role. We each have our own roles on this show, Laurie.
I love the notion that you aren't bitter about things. That is intriguing to me, and I'd love to meet this Jackie. When will she ever show up to this podcast?
It's happening right in front of your eyes. I'm so full of peace. All I am is just made of peace. I am serenity personified.
Here's the
So
thing,
I'm look.
when you get banned from a club, I get banned too. So if you're getting
Well,
weekends at a club, I should get a weekend too, since I seem to feel the ramifications of your wrath.
just me and my morals. The fact that I stood up for something. I don't know that you got banned because of that. I think that I don't know why. Had you worked all those clubs before?
Yeah, Tacoma. I worked Tacoma. I got a big thank you note signed by the entire club. They love me. Blah blah blah. Great shows.
Well, I say you initiate contact again and
Oh,
just throw
been
me
trying.
under the bus.
I've been. I
Okay.
did. But you don't have to tell me to do that. That was done as soon as you started talking. There were texts, I don't know this bitch. I don't know what she's talking about. You can follow whoever you want.
I don't have to tell you twice.
All is forgiven in my world.
Well, next week, just a lateral. just in the world of the business, so my new website's going to come out next week,
Yay.
and the new special is sort of a soft open
Mhm.
of the new special that the director Kyle Clark,
Hello.
ladies and gentlemen, hello,
You got yourself
and
a trailer out there.
we got a trailer and everything, and Emily hired to keep her foot on the brake, so it didn't turn into a snuff film.
It's Olivia Grace.
And there you go. Olivia. And
What's nice is
so
that you have stayed consistent, so the credits joke will work forever.
damn it. Is it Olivia?
Mhm.
I thought for sure I was right this time. Yeah, no, it's Emily. It's not Emily. It's always going to be Olivia Grace, Jackie. That's why you still live. Okay, so I got it wrong.
What a mess already.
It's already a mess. But the new website, I'm gonna have to
How much are you
I'm
spending?
doing the
Can you put it in the chat if you can't say it?
yeah, no, you should totally. It's reasonable because I thought it was going to be more than this, and it was, and it's so much work. It's called the name of the company, Promotional Rescue. Previously, one of the comics of the week, Melanie VC, and Promotional Rescue. It's like I think it was. I did both. I paid for two things, and it ended up.
Yeah, you
I
should
thought it was
put in
going to
the
be
chat
like
just in case she gave you a different rate, and that's maybe
right.
Oh,
So
I mean that's
no, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be at least another third of that or twice that, and it can be as low as that.
Oh,
So I think we should do it for the Jackie and Laurie show, maybe.
I do too.
And
It's a mess.
but you should.
Going through Weebly and all this shit and Square now. It's like 15 different apps to get to the page I have to edit, and I can't stand it. Yes.
Right. And is JackieandLaurieShow.com, is that on Weebly or Squarespace?
It's a separate thing. You could move it to any place. It's its own.
Okay.
We own the domain.
Okay.
We can move it. We can move it around.
Right. But right now it's parked at Weebly, right?
Right. And
Okay.
Weebly's extrication, protocols are like, I'd rather get a hostage out of Iran than
a guy that I had a really fun I worked with him a couple of weeks about 15 years ago, who's been doing my website for the last 15 years, and then it's just on his server, and it's not a lot of money, but it's like it's one of those he's like a tech nerd guy, but now he has like a real day job, and he doesn't need to have and be in charge of that. So I emailed him and I was like, would you care? Because I'm moving it. You don't care, right? Is what I told him. And he said, you're right. I don't care. How can I help you move it? And so he's been very, very supportive. And
nice.
but she's she did Maria's. And she's reasonably priced and she knows what the hell she's doing. The only thing is I have to move it to Squarespace, and Squarespace is probably $300 a year to host it there. Which
why is
Squarespace
involved in all this shit?
Not Square, Squarespace.
Oh, Squarespace. Okay.
Yeah. And Squarespace, I think Mark Maron's podcast, they're one of his so we're gonna so Melanie PC was like, use the code WTF and you'll get 15% off. And I said, let's do an ad for Squarespace and Mark Maron's podcast on this. Why aren't they? Because the thing is if they were, if I bet you if we did an ad for them, we would get a free website.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Max Fun. Talk to him.
That second rate you posted right there is how much I'm spending this week on tenting my house for termites.
Ooh, termites. That sucks.
Yeah, because guess what I had last year? Fucking rats. Okay, it's nonstop pestilence here at this house.
Right. Why are there locusts? What's happening?
I don't know.
It's you live in a very nice neighborhood. Why are there so many bugs?
I don't know.
And animals.
Are, I know why the rats are. It's because of my bird seed. I just have to.
Oh, okay.
I can't get rid of the birds. I love them so much. I need to come up with something.
What one of our neighbors posted on Facebook a picture of a noble black widow, which is a white black widow. Um, Florence Pugh. No, it was a white black widow that looked terrifying and is actually more poisonous than a black widow.
Wow. I mean, that
And I was like, where the hell did you find that? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it is bug season anyway, but termites are, they're a different thing. But yeah, so it's got to be done. So my kid and I are going to live in the garage for a couple days, hunker down. I have to pack for that on Tuesday to move 4 yards away and get everything.
Right. Right, because they'll tent it and then you'll have to give it a couple of days to clear out, won't you?
Yeah. And it's weird.
Yeah,
'cause
luckily.
the what they do is they suck all the oxygen out of the house, so things die. Like,
Okay.
it's just they suffocate, right?
Right.
So so it's gonna if they have to put the tent over like bougainvillea and stuff, then
Oh, it's gonna kill your plants.
well, it won't kill it. He said if you water a lot, they'll just take the oxygen out of the water temporarily. It wouldn't be
Okay.
a long-term way for them to live. But it's just gonna be. It's gonna.
It's just a pain in the neck and
And
expensive
it's like, look, all right now when I have very little income, all these like things that I can't even enjoy are
Mhm.
things you have to fix that you
Right.
termites.
They're
I've
not
never
in
seen
it.
a termite. Okay, I was just told
Yeah,
that
that's not it. Yeah, it's not enhancing your life
no,
though.
it's
It
not a
has
new
to be
couch.
done. Yes.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not a new website. It's these invisible
Right.
things in the attic, Ugh.
Oh, you got sets this week? How about that? That's a better
I
topic.
do. I'm at Flappers on Monday and Sunday, and then Thursday and Friday I'm doing Hermosa Beach, and then Friday
Nice.
I'm also doing a set at the lab on Glazer Boo Hoo Hoo's show, my kid.
Okay.
And definitely open to see to anything on Wednesday and Thursday if anyone has anything. Or if anyone cancels, please keep in mind on Tuesday, my son and I are going to a concert where it's his
Oh,
concert.
Ed Sheeran. Yeah.
Ed Sheeran. No.
I just know he's not cool. I don't know any. I don't know anything about him, and I'm sure your son is like not a chance.
No.
So
It's this band, although I think it's one guy, but it might be we'll see. It's called Grandson. And
okay.
very dark nihilistic lyrics. I like his voice a lot too. His voice is very recognizable. And he just released an album where he fell in love, and my son's like, "Whoa, what? This guy's like he's happy all of a sudden." It's really funny, 'cause we would just listen to the first album over and over again. Where he's like total like to me a Gen Z voice where you're just looking at it's mass shootings, it's suicide, it's climate, it's all this shit that they're looking at on a daily basis. He just put into these cool songs and just like, yeah,
right.
that's what they're thinking about. And then all of a sudden, this guy
Huh.
got a girlfriend.
There's hope for
The cycle.
everyone.
Yeah. Sure. So we're excited.
That's
Grandson.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. The only set I've got this week besides up to the Throckmorton and back is next Sunday. I'm doing the Crow for Laura House's show.
Oh, neat.
And that'll be fun. I could use some more sets. Yeah, let's take a break.
Same.
And let's talk about our comic of the week.
Oh,
We're 30 minutes in, Laurie.
she's been in on our list for a while. Her name is Leslie Liao. She's very funny. She's sarcastic. I love her. I watched a couple of her clips. I don't think I've done a set with her. I don't think so. I think
Is she out of LA?
No, she's here, but I think I've been on
Okay.
on a lineup with her at the West Side, but maybe I left or something. I don't know. But she's got a ton of followers on TikTok and Instagram, and her reels are really funny. The stuff she has on from Don't Tell are really good.
Oh, good.
Check out. And her let's see, her
Yeah, what's her handle? Yeah.
her handle is, oh my God, RESRIERIAO. And her
Guess
last
what?
name is
It'll be in the
spelled-
notes. Yeah.
her last name is Liao, so the IAO is carries over from her last name, but I have no idea what reservoir.
It's
I don't know if
Resri
there is
Rao. It's the L's being replaced by R's.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel
Oh, I see. I see what's
It
happening.
took me a minute, so I wanted
Yes.
to share because I was wondering if everybody else was going through the journey in my head.
I will not be saying her username just out
Quite
of
clever.
yes.
I took that
That's
bullet to explain the joke.
I've been through some HR meetings, so I will not be saying her username, but she's hilarious. And there you
find
go.
her, book her,
Yeah.
Mhm.
make it so.
So wait,
I
it's
did-
Resri Riao.
Oh, you said it.
Oh my God.
she tricked you into saying it. She tricked you into saying it.
I was tricked, Your
It's
Honor.
You were
pretty
tricked.
funny.
Your
Very
Honor.
funny,
It's something something out of a Phil Silver sketch from 1967.
Wrote the
Um,
podcast
Old
last
school
night.
on that. I love it.
Yeah. Uh, she's the only one who can do it, you guys.
Yeah.
So, I think it was you last week telling me to listen to Julia Louis Dreyfus's podcast.
Aaron told us, and guys,
Oh,
our
Aaron Foley.
Patreon,
Yeah.
we have, we for our Patreons, we do once a month we do a guest with a former comic of the week, and we did ours with Aaron Foley last week, and it's a great conversation. I love Aaron, and she told us about Julia Louis Dreyfus's podcast, Wiser Now or something like that.
Than me, wiser than me.
Yeah, she talks to older women, and she's 62, so she's talking to like 80-year-olds. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's I've listened to almost all of them. I was trying to get to Carol Burnett, but because I didn't know who anybody else was. Yeah, there's like fashion people and politics people, and like the first one was Jane Fonda, and that was amazing.
So good.
And then it was Fran Lebowitz,
Oh, I
who
loved it.
is very funny, but I wouldn't invite her to the house.
No, I wouldn't
So
want to meet her. I wouldn't want to meet her, but
she would eviscerate me. Yeah. Yeah.
I love to listen to somebody else meet her, but not myself. No, thank you.
Right. I'm on Amy Tan, which I never read Joy Luck Club.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
I haven't. I listened to Fran, her, Jane, and Carol, and then Isabella Allende.
Yeah.
So she wrote. I have to read more of her books because she wrote this one book called "The Long Pedal by the Sea," which is about. It takes place during the Spanish Civil War and people resettling to Chile, which is the pedal by the sea, and it's so good. And
Yeah.
yeah, I loved it. I don't know why I didn't immediately just read every single one of her books. I always like to take a break from a great book and then read books that annoy me, I guess. That's my
And Andy does the thing where he won't read the same author 2 books in a row because the voice gets in his head.
yeah.
I love reading everything that somebody wrote if I really like them. So but the Ruth Reichel episode, I got to meet her one time. She was a food editor, I think, of very famous
New York Times or something.
no, like Gourmet Magazine or something.
Oh, okay.
And she got when Gourmet Magazine closed down, it was very sad. I met her at Livewire in Portland once. I was doing a Livewire
Oh,
America Media thing for NPR or whatever, and she was super fascinating and very interesting. And I bought her book. It was a cookbook and also essays, and the essays irritated me so bad. She talked
why?
about her job at Gourmet and how she almost lost her 3rd house. And I was like, not out loud, Ruth, not out loud. That's an inside your head voice, my friend. People are, there's trouble, people are.
Well, also, I would assume, here's the thing. There was a time in the magazine era where they made good money. The writers and editors of magazines made a ton of money, and so maybe you could have a 3rd house being a magazine editor. I don't know, but
No, you totally could.
Yeah.
She was making bank, and when the thing closed, she lost her job.
Yeah.
And so she said that they were strapped for cash
Yeah.
and that they were going to have to get rid of maybe the Hamptons house. And you're like, I'm sorry. Did you want me to? Are you CK? Do I have to watch you jerk off in front of me? Please stop touching yourself in front of me. Anyway, so, but I did. These are all women in like their 70s and 80s.
Carol
And
Burnett is 90. She's 90.
that's awesome.
And
But Ruth, yeah.
well, Julia Louis. Okay, so I met Carol Burnett once, and right at
What?
Conan. You've seen that picture.
Yeah.
I was at Conan. She was a guest, so I never asked. I only asked to meet two people: Carol Burnett and Chrissy Hind. Right. And
Right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Carol Burnett. As soon as I see her, I start crying. So
Oh
there's
my God.
certainly I've got like makeup running down my face. I'm smiling. Now, apparently, this is a common reaction to meeting Carol Burnett. Like if she leaves the house, middle-aged women will start weeping when they see her. So I
Aw.
can imagine what that's like. And you meant so much to me. And she's like, I'm just gonna get coffee. Right. And so it was funny because Julia Louis Dreyfus started crying before the interview. I'm like,
did
oh
she?
my God, all right. Carol Burnett can't
Oh.
get away from women crying at her. It's awful. That's got to be torture.
That is okay. So the Darlene Love one
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. And
Uh-huh.
I never saw that 20 Feet from Stardom or whatever. I never saw the documentary,
Oh,
but
she's
Darlene Love
a
was
backup singer.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
For Mick
So
Jagger.
these are people, everyone, Dionne Warwick and Elvis Presley and Bruce Springsteen. I mean, everyone. And
she sang I think she sang a Christmas song every single year on Letterman, right? For like
right.
years.
Yeah. And what was her, like her advice was amazing. It was just her son, one of her sons was in jail for 12 years because of the 3-strike rule, and he had weed. 12 years for weed. Anyway, so Darlene Love was great. Diane von Furstenberg was. You and Maria would both love Diane von Furstenberg.
Really?
Because she brutal. She explained about her mom. Her mom was in Auschwitz and was released from Auschwitz and weighed 49 pounds. And Diane von Furstenberg's grandmother nursed her mother after 2 years of feeding her like a fucking baby bird, I guess. She was back up to her fighting weight. Married her fiance, was told not to get pregnant for like another couple of years, got pregnant right away, and had Diane von Furstenberg. And Diane von Furstenberg at one point says, you have to face your fears. That was the thing my mother taught me, is that you have to face your fears. I told my mother I was afraid of the dark. She locked me in a closet for a night. Or a day or something. Yeah. And you're like,
thinking is don't be the child of a Holocaust survivor. It sounds
right. She was like, she would be arrested for that now. And Julia Louis Dreyfus, there's this very telling silence. And she goes, so how did you raise your kids? Did you do any? And she didn't go, did you lock your kids in a closet? But that was the implied question. And the implied answer was that Diane von Furstenberg's mother was still fucking alive. So probably had a pretty good influence on her grandchildren. So Diane von Furstenberg's children. Because the Auschwitz survivor lived forever. What?
She's still alive?
No, she would be like 120 now, but she lived until her grandchildren had children. She lived a long time.
If your mother, it's the fashion.
Just spitball.
Diane clearly designed gowns and clothing for women who weighed about 49 pounds. Like you would think if the plus size line, it would be the daughter of a Holocaust survivor. But whatever.
Too funny.
I feel very much
Um,
about her, except she is married to Barry Diller, and that is it seems like a marriage of convenience. I don't everything I've heard is he may not be into Diane Furstenberg's, but um and
well,
Barry well, here's the thing. Barry Diller was the he owned IAC, which owned 23/6, which was a website I worked on. And it was a political comedy website. And as soon as Obama was elected president, they pretty much within a month or two, they shut the website down. It's like, oh, we don't want any more political comedy from you guys. So whatever. And then
I have.
he give terrible comedy notes. So that's
Ah,
I look at him as
I don't want comedy notes at all. Take your comedy notes and jam them in your ear. I have enough notes to give myself about my comedy. Whether or not, I'm working on all of these new bits. And I'm quite honestly, this is an embarrassment of riches. I have too many fucking premises.
yeah.
So I have to just shunt some away.
Take them one by one.
Bird by bird, Cation. Bird by bird. And but I will say, speaking of politics, and this has been the last Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Maria, every day I'll be like, so I listened to this one. The last 3 days I listened to these two. But the last one I listened to was Gina McCarthy, who I did not know who she was by name, but she was the head of the EPA. She's worked on she's a big climate activist, and she has the greatest Boston accent in the world.
Oh my
and
God.
it's a great episode. She is they're super smart, and all of these women are older than we are, because Julia Louis-Dreyfus is slightly older than we are, like good 5 years. And the advice is great, because most of them swim. Did you hear that, Laurie? They're
Oh.
almost all swimmers.
Oh, nice. All right.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, you know who else swims? Karen Morgan. Oh, we have to have
No,
her on
offhand.
but she's
Okay.
she's one of the New York Times did an article on her and Leanne Morgan. They're not related, but they're the same age as us, and they both have Netflix specials, and they're like killing it, right? And they just have
good.
a different audience, or they've cultivated an audience, whatever. But Karen is a open water swimmer. She just posted a picture of herself like in front of a lake, and I was like, oh damn, that's incredible. She's taken the summer off to do open water swims. When do
Wow.
I need to have that life?
Yeah.
Now I gotta fucking pay for termites.
You gotta pay for termites, and you gotta grind it out. You gotta grind it out. Hey, should we take a second break, Kyle?
Perfect timing.
All right.
We're back. And listen,
we're back. Yeah.
Jackie and I have a show at the Crow in Santa Monica on July 13th. So please come to that. It's gonna be a live show. We got Danielle Perez. We got Katie Hughes. We still have offers out, and we'll have more comics. But even just the four of us is like that's magic for you.
Didn't you ask her as I type her name?
Oh yes, and Jasmine Ellis. That's right. Yes. So that's fun.
Yay.
Yeah. I mean, it's
so that'll be cool.
Love Jasmine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, who?
So
someone else was missing.
Right. And not too many comics, because we all want to do some real time and see some slightly longer sets. Like 15s are fun.
Yeah. And what else was I gonna say?
And we could do another Zoom. We could do another Zoom show too for July.
Yeah, because
Max Fun's into it. Our people are into it.
Yeah.
All the people who listen and watch this show enjoy a Zoom comedy.
So I listen to other podcasts on other networks, and so it's Cheryl Hines has a podcast with Tig Notaro, and I hate RFK Jr. so much that when I hear the ad for their podcast, I get angry. I'm like, why is Cheryl laughing? Doesn't she know what her husband is doing to America? Stop it. I can't control.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Husband, am I right?
You're right. You're always right, Laurie. I mean, here's the thing:
I've
is
never had it,
you
but I don't know.
spend a fair amount of time keeping up on stuff just because I think it's that monologue muscle where you're just like you're reading three different kinds of. Did you hear about Russia and the mercenaries, right? About
I'm
Wagner?
exhausted. I don't know what's happening. Every time I read and I'm like, I got it, then the story changes. So I just feel like you fucking figure it out, Russia, and then I'll catch up in a week. But please stop
Right.
irritating
Yeah,
me with this competing storylines.
yeah, and, it's a lot of competing storylines. It's true. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the information either. All I know is that honestly, I have this bit, and the problem with the bit is that it's about it's about the American dream and the Hollywood dream and the dream of true love. And so, guess what? That's huge.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's like
It's a lot.
that's a one-woman show.
I don't want to do that shit.
No.
I want to do altercation, which means that I have to write that, and then I also have to write the spooky Rita girl pitch. And other than that, I've got to do the new website, and I have to do MailChimp, and I got to figure out who's gonna. If I'm really hoping Maria's, because she said that she could be my guest at Mic Drop on Thursday. But I don't want to
Jackie,
count
you
on it until I've
mentioned this.
actually talked to her. I know. These are my worries. These are my worries. And
Heard about your
oh,
booking problems for 20 minutes
the
on the
EP,
show.
the EPA lady recommended a novelist that I just read her first book, and it's a mystery series novelist where the mystery is happening in like a Gilmore's Girl like town,
Yeah.
but in Canada. So it's not the Gilmore Girls like town at all, and it's outside of Montreal, and it's a murder mystery thing. And I only read the first one, and I have no idea where the other 18 books could possibly go, because it would be like a Murder She Wrote thing where the murder keeps happening in this tiny fucking town. That's too much, too many murders.
Well,
Do you like Louise Penny? Is her name?
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you read murder mysteries. I don't think you do.
I haven't. But that's always a
Mhm.
possibility. I have to make so I made it I created a Dropbox full of reels and clips that have done pretty well for clubs to use. Well, for
Oh, good.
and
Yeah.
I have to find. I'm going to try to find some Acme clips that they can also post. But I guess that's something to do so that these clubs can email their list with your reel or whatever. I mean, God,
Yeah.
Jackie, it
Acme,
seems like
Acme
extra
just asked
work.
me for a reel. I know I'm bringing Carmen Morales and Anna Valenzuela with me to open because I want Lewis to meet them.
Mhm.
They're gonna open for me at Acme. So
Good
That's
show.
nice. I'm there
and
with
Lewis
my dear friend from San Francisco. I don't know, he was gonna be
Tony?
yeah, Tony Kameen. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, what a great show.
I know.
Minneapolis, get out to see
I know.
Kilmartin just for Kilmartin, but also now Tony Kameen.
Oh, he's so fun.
Lewis will love Tony Kameen.
Oh my God. He will.
Because how much Lewis loves Frank Conniff and Josh Weinstein and
Oh
Chris
yeah.
Bliss.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
Tony just finally recorded his first album. There's a lot of us San Francisco comics that are just really late to that shit. I don't know why, but like, dang, he's so funny. I saw Kevin Kataoka on the picket line last week too.
love
I've
Kevin Kataoka.
seen him in a long time. He's so funny. And we were just talking, we're like, God, how long have we known each other? It's weird to have these really long friendships in comedy, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
30 years I've known him.
Yeah,
Off and on.
I started at the same time he did, so whenever that is, wait, how many audience member heads did I count? I don't very much. But yeah, so it's like we spend a lot of time meeting new comics, right? Mostly
Mhm.
when I'm at the stand, I'm always meeting newer comics, right? And they're funny and it's great and all that. sometimes it's just nice to see someone you've known for a really long time, and you don't have to reintroduce, and you just have to speak, as I'm describing old friendships as if I've just discovered,
Yeah.
you know.
It's pretty great. I
Yeah.
will say Maria's doing this great bit, and it's on her new Comedy Dynamics special, so I don't think I'm ruining anything. But it's the one about how she's talking about Sex Addicts Anonymous or something like that.
Yeah.
And how there's some people from our work who could use this 12-step group, and
Sure.
and they should definitely, they should go before it's court ordered that they go to Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, because and now it's because, and she loves, what is it, she loves a sexual predator. She's like the ones where they have to have, like, if they move into your neighborhood, what is that called?
Megan's List.
Where
Megan's Law.
yeah, like Megan's Law, but whatever it is, it's called, like, they're on a list of some sort.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love that, because then we know exactly where you are. Where with comedy, I mean, we know where they are. I mean, she's like, well, all I can do is put an asterisk next to their name on green rooms. But she's like, we all know where they are. They're touring.
That's great. I think I saw her do that at in Austin, maybe at Moon Tower.
Sure. Yeah, she was I think prepping for that special.
I was trapped by Pride bicycles in Portland. So
I saw the reel.
Okay, even though I was like so depressed on Friday, I was like, I'll go to see Maria and Jackie's sold out shows.
Right. And hang out and see comics.
But then, so I turn down a little street, and get to the stop sign, and all of a sudden there's like a ton of bikes, and they're all like lit, they've gotten like LED lights over them, and it's Pride, and they're biking, and it just looks like one of those things where all the cars were all stopped. We're going to wait for these bikes to go by. And then they keep going. And this for 10 minutes. And I'm like, how many gay bicyclers are there in Portland? Right?
Oh, all of them.
But then I see one of them was like, had a bike, and they were I think they were playing lowrider. I mean, one of them was very distinctive, and they came around again, and I'm like, oh, all right. So they're just making a loop. It's not like there's thousands of them. There might be 200, right?
Right.
So I back up. I tell the other cars behind me, hey, I'm turning around, guys. So I back up. I pull up to the other end of the street where there's a stop sign, and they're going by that street too. Like, they're literally going in a circle around the street I'm on, and I couldn't get out. And it just,
oh my gosh,
at that time I had such an interior emotional collapse that I just wanted to go home to my sister.
Yes. I have to say that when we took a lift back to the hotel from the club, that our driver, first of all, in my opinion, was drunk.
Oh.
And I was so genuinely uncomfortable that Maria at one point said, do you want to get out of the car? And I said, sort of, but we're almost back to the hotel. And we ran into that parade, by the way. The guy was genuinely, and he said, I wish I was going to your hotel. I would just go to the bar and have, and just get drunk, and then just go crash in a bed up there. He said, last night I didn't get drunk. I just had a beer and like 3 shots. And I was like, I am going to have an intervention with you right now. And that intervention is me getting the fuck out of this car.
Did you tell Lyft, or did you tell Uber?
Mm-mm.
That guy should not be
No,
driving.
I just told you. You're the only one who told.
You have the information, right? I mean, that guy should not.
No, it wasn't. It was, I think it was on Maria's account. So it wasn't, I didn't call the car. He wasn't that drunk, but he looked like he was. I don't understand what I just said. That is, I actually not. Okay, maybe that could be the title of the show. He's not that drunk with capital THAT.
I don't even think what I just said. I think that's more that could kill somebody's child. And as a mother of a child,
Right,
I
right.
missed out
It could,
first. You should not be driving.
but he's also somebody's child,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you
Yeah.
know, they fucked up a little bit, but
I want to do a lot more stand-up comedy and get all of my jokes done.
mhm.
Please make that happen for me, Laurie. If you could just somehow
Coming to me.
make it possible. Yeah. Where are we at here, Kyle?
We're pretty close. We're at 55.
Okay. Anything you want to close on, Laurie? I think I'm also reading a Hercule Poirot. Like a modern writer has
Yeah.
written this another one of those mysteries, and yep.
I'm reading this
And-
book by Sophie Kinsella, and it's driving.
Is it about baseball?
No, why would it be about baseball?
I don't know. There was someone named Kinsella who wrote a baseball book. The Natural? Can't remember.
Well, this is a different person. It's called Surprise Me, and it's so I get so irritated when I read it. I don't know. It's a hardback. I want to finish a hardback. I don't like leaving hardbacks unfinished, but God, it's taking.
Is it nonfiction?
Yeah.
Is it fiction?
It's a
Okay.
novel about a woman who realizes she's gonna be married. She and her husband realize at the same time they're gonna be spending the next 50 years together. Like they got good health, and they just realize they're bored, and so they're going through a series of things to liven up their marriage. And my
Wow.
stance the whole time is get a divorce. You're fucking bored with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. There's a different, someone was saying, I think it was the woman Gina was saying that she doesn't read a lot of novels. She mostly reads mysteries. And I was like, what the fuck is a mystery if not a novel?
Yeah, it's just,
And it's a different kind of novel, but I knew exactly what she meant. You know, those Oprah Book of the Week, slice of life, sad sack, where it's a navel gazing, and they're often so beautifully written. The prose could make you sob, but who gives a shit? Because you're like, hey, why don't you, I would like someone to win at the end of a novel that I've read. I need to read I don't want, I know people who are making terrible life choices. I can't read a novel where it's sad.
I would say Isabel Allende was a great novelist. She writes beautiful stuff.
Sure.
Here's the thing: when someone and writes comedy, I want to jump out of my skin. David Sedaris would make me. I'm very particular when it comes to comedy writing.
You know what? That's what I liked about the Thursday Murder Club, because that guy's a comedy writer in England. He
Yeah.
doesn't try to make it funny. He doesn't write jokes. He writes characters, and they're making them, and it's funny, but it's funny in just a likable, human way. It's actually a delight. Those Thursday Murder Club books.
Interesting. Well, yeah, this person is writing jokes.
Oh God. I would like to give that person a paper cut with their own book.
Thumbs down.
I can see how
I'm
to a comedy writer, it would be really funny. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, no, I can see that where you're just like, okay, well, you wrote a thing. If you're a comedy writer. But
And maybe I'm just an asshole.